Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Gone Fishing. I'm your host, Connor, CEO at Phin, and I am joined once again by the amazing Jeff Benedetti, SVP of Sales at CyberQP. Jeff, how are you?
I'm well. Great to see you, Connor.
Great to see you as well. It is actually a beautiful day outside, and yet
gorgeous here in Connecticut. We just won the national championship in men's basketball last night, so the sun's shining a little bit brighter.
He's been chomping at the bit to say that for at least an hour now, just to tell one more person that UConn won.
Yeah.
So we've had you in the episode on the podcast before, talking about go-to-market strategies, talking about sales culture, company culture, motivation, and now we're talking about what I believe to be like the core foundation of your business is building high quality relationships with your partners, right? Mm-hmm. If you're, and what I mean by partners, the communities you're serving, right? If the people that you're serving don't like you and you don't have good relationships there, you'll be gone like a cloud in the sky, right? You're just going to go away at some point.
Yep.
So how do you view, you've been in the industry for 20 years. So you've got relationships in this industry, probably older than me. How do you think about that? How do you build these relationships? How do you make them last?
And you, that was a shot. Well, you know what it is? Like a lot of times you see people like professionally networking. And to me, that feels like a little
icky.
I don't know. That's not me. I guess I'll use our relationship as an example. I think it was Wes Spencer posted something about you, like your video. And I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting what this guy's doing. He seems like he's got great energy. And I just shot you a note like, hey, send me a demo. We'd love to just to check out. I had no intentions to buy what you were selling, but I just wanted to learn more about it. And I had a genuine interest. I think a lot of times especially if someone's trying to network up, right? And it's very obvious to someone when their outcome is just whether it's financial or career driven, not so much a genuine interest in that person's mission, if you will. And I think it's important to always be curious, which leads to a greater network and actually understanding who someone is. Like, I don't want to have relationships that are icky.
We've all been to enough conferences and been in this industry long enough to feel
I've made a lot of friends at those things though. And I best not to be icky, if you will, or to be overly obvious. But I think long-term relationships, especially in the MSP space, is super important. We call them partners, not customers. And having relationships in the vendor community, along with the partner community, is super valuable. And it's also reputation. Like, it's very easy, extremely easy to burn your reputation.
Yeah. Very insular community. I remember when I was getting into sales first here in this industry, it's like, well, I don't know how to make a sale. Never done sales in my life. I don't know how to do any part of this. I do know how to make a friend though, right? I've been doing that for a while. So I'll just try to make friends and see what happens. And there was no intentionality of like, oh, making friends is the way you make the sales. It was just like, I don't know anyone and I'd really like to know people. So let's start there. And it just ended up working out.
People buy from people. At the end of the day, people buy from people. Even when you buy something online, you're buying from Amazon. They make it really easy for me, right? I have information about the products. Like, there's some type of relationship that people have when they buy. So people buy from people, especially B2B.
I've always heard the people buy from people they like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll hear MSPs. I mean, I've talked to hundreds that'll say like, yeah, the product's okay, but man, I sure love name that sales rep. I sure love the success rep's name, and it's getting the job done.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to leave.
I actually, I have a little bit of a story here. First conference I ever went to. This was before the company existed, right? I was there selling the promise that I would have a solution that was not built yet. I put the whole thing on my credit card. I stayed at a Super 8 down the road from the conference because it was like $30 a night. I didn't have money to stay at the conference hotel. And on the first day, I met this other guy that was about my age, and we just got talking. And he's like, hey, I wanted to come talk to you for two reasons. One, he's like, I really like some of the stuff that I heard you saying around insert my product. But also, it's like, we're kind of the two youngest people here, and I'd really love somebody that I can hang out with and grab a drink with. It's like, oh, cool. That's awesome. that person ended up introducing me to their boss, who ended up introducing me to their boss, who ended up introducing me to their boss, who ended up being one of our largest customers 3 years later. So I was like, it's like 3 years in the running. It's just like catching up with these people. And now they're like good friends of mine. It's like, oh, wait, we actually have an opportunity to work together now. That's cool. Yeah. Let's do it.
It's good in, good out, right? So like I saw something online the other day, like no matter who you see, just be super positive to that person. And it makes their day better. It makes your day better. If it results in a business outcome, even better. But the bigger your network, the bigger your brand, the bigger your sense of community, better off you'll be. And if you're doing it for the right reasons, the more the better.
How do you figure out, which of these relationships are worth investing in and which relationships aren't?
There's obviously the mutually beneficial piece, but it's also too, like, I want to be around people that I like and I enjoy and that I can add value to and they can add value to me. So it's just not business relationships. It could be a peer, business peer in the industry or a peer in your organization. And when it's a partner, it needs to be like it needs to be a mutually beneficial relationship, but that you're supporting them when they need you and vice versa.
Yeah. I remember reading this book a while ago called Never Eat Alone. It was by a guy called Keith Ferrazzi. And the whole premise was like, to sum up the book in a single catchphrase, your network is your net worth. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
That's basically the whole book. It's like, if you want to succeed in life, if you want to go accomplish great things, it is impossible to do that without the help and the benefit of other people. Just because if you want to do something great, typically the scale of that is more than an individual can create and bring about on their own. And that book is essentially all about, it's like, if you want people to invest in you, then you have to be able to invest in them. A one-sided relationship will never last in either direction. So either you'll stop investing or they'll stop investing because they feel like they're not getting something out of it. So it's like, if you're really invested in making the relationship work, you have to be invested in making it work for everybody.
Exactly. So I think about your friend maybe you had in high school or whatever that you've called 3 times, they haven't gotten back to you. Am I going to call you again? You got my number. We have a limited amount of time. You have to spend it wisely. And there's a lot of people.
Yeah, especially as you grow up, as you start a family, have kids, or grow professionally. It's like, does this person are they really putting in the effort that I'm putting in?
Yeah, exactly. I just think with, just say business relationships in general, those that are super deliberate and super outward with networking come across very commercial. And to me, you're not going to get a call back. It's not going to get you where you want to be. And if something comes of it, great. If it doesn't, so be it. But I don't know. I'm just very purposeful with where I spend my time.
I've always said, I don't want to feel like a prospect in your pipeline. I want to feel like a friend in your phone. It's just like, how do I feel? It's like, am I getting reached out to because you want to sell something or you want to do something? Or is there just this genuine conversation around helping each other out? It's a very different feeling.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
How should people go about building these relationships? What are some of the things they should be thinking about?
Remember people's names.
That's a good one.
Yeah, remember people's names is a good place to start. If you're having a conversation with them, stay present, understand, figuring out, not figuring out, but just being present with them and listening. In regards to business, and I know a lot of people in this industry, it's staying connected. And when you see someone, it's relevant to them. Like I'll see people. I'm going to the Kaseya show at the end of the month. I'll see dozens, if not, over 100 people that I know, and I've developed meaningful relationship with these people. We're not going to talk about just business. We're going to talk about life, and if that happens, that's great. But being curious about someone is always important to me.
Yeah, if you don't remember their name, you got to get real good at the nicknames, like, hey pal, hey guy, what's up, brother?
Well, the benefits are great at the benefit of being at a conference is people have their name tag.
Yes.
It's looking at their name tag without them knowing you're looking at the name tag. Also the move is if you're with someone, and you introduce them, hey, this is so-and-so. And they then, oh, hi, I'm Jeff. That's a trick there too, to remember someone's name.
Whenever I talk with, there's a lot of folks who would love to get started in this industry, either, their own career, build company, in all industries in general, but in the MSP industry, my belief, my advice has always been centered around is like, you really gotta like watching other people win. It's like do you have those people in your life where it's like you feel like sharing good news with them, or you feel like sharing something that you're doing, it makes them feel like you've taken away from what they're doing?
Sometimes, yeah, I get that feeling with certain people. Yeah.
It's like, and what do you do? It's like, well, I don't want to make that person feel, I'm just not going to talk to them.
Yeah. You just don't share with them.
Right. And so it's like, me personally, I'm not necessarily motivated by winning. I'm motivated by not losing. So it's like, if somebody else is winning, so that does nothing to take away from me. I'm like, let's go celebrate that. My buddy called me the other day, and he's like, dude, I just bought this enormous house. It's like, that is awesome. My first two questions, where is it? When's the golf simulator going in? It's just like, I don't care. It's like, let's celebrate. It's like, are we getting drinks? Are we doing champagne? Like, I'll bring it over. What's the whole 9 yards? I don't care. I'll help you move in.
People. I used to be afraid to fail. Now, like, I'm not afraid anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid, but I was always scared, right? I guess that's afraid.
Yeah.
I'm more so like, how can I like winning. I thrive on that, but I don't get upset at myself when things don't go as planned. I just think about, the long game.
Yeah.
But like anytime someone says like, hey, I just made $1 million, that's awesome. I get so excited for people. Like you can do it. Why, why can't anyone else?
Yeah.
Especially in America. Like you have the opportunity here to do anything you possibly want. And we're very fortunate in this country for that opportunity. So I love when it happens. Love when it happens.
Yeah. I always told people too, it's like whatever you decide to be transparent about it. So it's like, especially in this industry, it's like we're in cybersecurity, we're, dealing with small, medium, and we got everyone from every walk of life. You got people walking around. It's like whatever you are, be yourself. Whatever that is. It's like the thing that people care about. My dad told me this from a really young age, is like the thing that people care about is that they think you're transparent, and they think you're transparent when you are transparent. It's like, so if everyone complains about Gary Vaynerchuk and how much he, uses curse words or whatever in all of his videos. It's like, why does that work for him? It's like, because it's him. It's like, he's not trying to be somebody else.
I have a personal story with you about that. When I got to Datto, this company was growing really fast, and I, was doing well there. And I was trying to be like something I necessarily wasn't, like overly corporate. And that's not me. I don't want to be that. And when I stopped doing that, I actually ended up being better. Just staying true to who I am. Yeah.
You operate way better. People like you way more, again, because they feel this genuine nature. No, sure. I'm not talking to corporate drone SVP. I'm talking to Jeff.
Yeah. I have friends I was texting with today that were VPs there, right? Like, Bill, you're genuine, that drive people towards you.
Yeah, absolutely. For folks who wanted to connect with you or connect with CyberQP, where would you suggest they go?
Jeff Benedetti on LinkedIn. I'm super active, and also cyberqp.com. Tons of information there. So
awesome. For folks listening or watching, we'll have links to that in the show notes. And Jeff, any final words of advice for folks listening, how they can build genuine relations, at least in a professional sense, business-wise?
LinkedIn is the best tool ever for business. It's the best.
Yeah.
I can connect with tens of thousands of people. Before, you had a Rolodex of business cards. Like, think about how far we've come. Use LinkedIn. I'm a power user of LinkedIn.
I'll add to that. I probably get no less than 200 connection requests a week, right? I'm just constantly just clicking the accept button. And I do this now. If somebody immediately shoots into my inbox and the first message they have with me is, hey, let me sell you this thing, click remove friend, block. It's like, that's it. It's like, nah, I don't want to do this. But the people who have gone into my posts, it's like, hey, I watched that short video you made on XYZ and I really liked your perspective on this for these reasons. Just wanted to reach out, say, hey. It's like, that instantly, every single time, like the amount of care put into that instantly is turned into a conversation with me every single time.
Yeah.
So,
and then you buy something.
Maybe. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever bought anything where I've met that person on LinkedIn. I've definitely taken meetings, but nothing like I met them for the first time, then started a conversation, then bought.
Such a powerful tool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, folks, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Jeff, thanks for
I appreciate it.
No, anytime. And maybe we'll have you back on the podcast soon. But thanks so much.
Love it. Yeah, anytime. Let me know.
We'll see you on the next episode. As always, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to Gone Fishing. If you want to find out more about high-quality security awareness training campaigns, how to launch them in ways that actually engage employees to change their habits, then check us out, Phin Security, at phinsec.io. That's phinsec.io. Or click all of the wonderful links in our show notes. Thanks for fishing with me today, and we'll see you next time.